What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another segment of the Neighborhood Podcast. I'm half the podcast, Kevin Valentin.
And on the other half of the podcast, my name is Kyle Dabra. Kevin, what do we have on deck?
Kyle, what we have on deck? Yeah, I want to know what we have on deck. I know what's on deck because, I'm part of the podcast. But anyway, guys, there seems to be trouble in paradise. Paradise in Foxborough. The magical place in which Tom Brady originated, the 6 Super Bowls and whatever have you, the greatest coach of all time, and Bill Belichick, arguably, the place where it's kind of cold, kind of arrogant, you know what I mean? Like, but, I can go on and on about this forever. The best part about it is, though, we have our own Foxborough insider, our personal patriot, Kyle Dabrow is the man that we come for all things New England Patriots. And supposedly, we have some issues out there in the happy land that is the Patriots practice facility and their preseason games. Supposedly, there is no official starter for week 1, and Belichick hasn't named one. Cam apparently had a press conference today, should I say, in which somebody phrased something for him to answer, in which I'm just coming here to get better every day. I'll let Kyle get into it. But Kyle, the question I propose to you as the lifelong Patriot fan, who's going to be the starter?
I think Cam's still going to be the starter.
Nah,
I,
you're no fun.
I know. But I will say this, though. Mac Jones in that first preseason game, I thought looked solid. I mean, he finished the game 13 of 19 for 87 yards passing. Didn't get any touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over. But I thought for his first reps in an actual game setting in the NFL, I thought he played well. But not only that, I thought Cam played well as well. So this is a situation where you I think Belichick is going to pick the experience over the hype of Mac Jones. And I think he's going to side with Cam in the end to start with week 1 just because Cam has a better understanding of the offense. They've adjusted from what Tom Brady did for 20 years to Cam to kind of building an offense more Cam oriented. That's why they went to go get some nice tight ends in Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. That's why they added some speed at the wide receiver position with Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne. And on top of that, they have a running back by committee that features James White, Damian Harris, and Sony Michel. So the ingredients are there for Cam to really take this team to the next level. I mean, last year they struggled. There's no other way to say it. They finished 7-9, and even despite the fact that I thought they had a bad season, there were some games where they were in it, and had they had a couple plays go their way, I think they would have finished above 500. But unfortunately, that did not happen. And Cam, to a certain extent, didn't help the Patriots in certain games. There were some games he really struggled in. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Cam to perform this year. And I still think that when I look at what's taking place in practice, Cam is still getting the starting reps on the team. And Mac Jones, despite the fact that he is getting a lot of hype from the media going into this season, I still think that he's the number 2 option on this team. I think there's a clear cut case that Cam is 1, Mac Jones is number 2, unless Cam just falls off the face of the earth when it comes to his accuracy, which is at this point checkered to say the least. I don't see Mac superseding Cam to start the season. Now, once we're in the season, and if Cam's not playing up to snuff, then maybe there will be a call to switch Mac Jones for Cam at that point. But I think going into week 1, I still think this is Cam's job to start for the Patriots, even despite the fact that I thought both quarterbacks in the reps that they got in the first preseason game against Washington, I thought both played pretty well for their respective performances.
I mean, I said it when you guys drafted Mac. I said Cam's days were numbered. Cam got the extension that he got prior to the draft. I thought it was a little bit much. Obviously, it's majority incentive based. But from what I saw last season, and from what I can see going forward, Cam's getting older. The arm strength isn't really getting much better. You guys signed a lot of deep threats. You guys signed bigger bodies in the middle of the field. And I saw you guys trying to modernize your offense. So adding speed, strength, and then possession receivers in terms of your tight ends leads me to believe you're going to run more of a system quarterback than an RPO. You guys aren't going to run a lot of run pass options like you did last year. I mean, people started to really feed on that from what I saw in terms of after week 2, the Seattle game, other teams started to hone in on Cam's inability to throw, and they showed that he's not the most accurate anymore. His strength isn't there to hit the deep ball in stride. And obviously, when you rush him, his first instinct is, of course, to take off on his feet and try to find the holes. And for what you guys have on this roster, yes, you have great running backs. Yes, you have great tight ends, and you have I want to say average receivers on the outside. I can't really say who's going to be the number one that isn't a tight end. So I don't know how you're going to do in the air, but I do know that tight ends are a quarterback's best friend, and especially a rookie quarterback. So I'm definitely predicting Cam to win the starting job just based off of his veteran know-how and his presence in doing the preseason and knowing how to manage the reps and his efficiency in camp and in practice. But come regular season, I've said it on multiple episodes. I got Mac Jones coming in just before the regular season midway point, so I would say he comes in around week 5 or 6, depending on how good or bad Cam does. It could be sooner. So it's weird for me because I think Mac's performance in the preseason, like Kyle said, is going to blow the media out of proportion and create a narrative that doesn't necessarily exist. But Cam's comments in the press conference didn't exactly help his case. So if that ends up stirring the pot in Foxborough, so be it. It makes it entertaining. I would love to see Mac Jones start only because I think the kid's got potential as much as I hate him. Me and my SEC rivals because I'm a Gator fan. And I just, it's unfortunate. I think Cam is kind of washed, and he proved that he had a shot last season. I know he didn't have a full off season to work with the team. I know that COVID restrictions and him contracting COVID in the beginning of the year didn't help him. And I completely understand that offense just continued to evolve as he was out and as he was missing time. So trust me, I got it. And I just, based off of what I saw last season, I don't really have much faith in Cam being able to hold this job for the lengthiness of a 17 game season.
I would tend to agree with you to a certain extent. It's just I need to see how he starts this season. And what I saw in the first preseason game was, typical Cam. There wasn't anything super flashy, but he didn't turn the ball over, which, it's a preseason game. So, he's not going up against, top tier guys. That won't come until the first or second week in September. But, it's kind of like I said earlier. I thought both quarterbacks played pretty well in their respective times on the field. And I don't want to be prisoner of the moment and say, oh my God, Matt Jones, he played outstanding. And because of that, he's got all the momentum in the world and he's going to get the starting job. I'm not going to go there yet. It's way too early to say that. And the one thing that I will say about Mac Jones is that his arm strength is kind of weak. It does look kind of weak at this point, but I think that's just him trying to get into the groove of things in the NFL. So I imagine his arm strength will improve not only as this season goes on, but as more years goes on that he's playing in the NFL. But, if I just had to go off my gut, I'm saying Cam's going to be the number one going into this season. But if it does go south, that does open the door wide open for Mac Jones to take that starting spot from Cam. But I have yet to see that. So I know there's a lot of hype around Mac Jones, and I know the media loves to kind of stir the pot that way. But I think it's pretty set in stone for me that Cam's going to be the number one guy to start the season.
Nope, definitely agree. But with that being said, guys, that ends the segment for today. Thank you guys, as always, for the support. Whether that's liking, commenting, following, subscribing, whatever have you, we really appreciate it. And, we look forward to making more content for you guys. Unfortunately, it was a little bit slow on the terms of content for the weekend. A lot of seasons are over, and the NFL has not necessarily started in full swing. And baseball, we're getting to the point now. We're 2 weeks out of September, so playoff baseball is literally upon us within the next month. So could not be more excited for when that happens. And, we'll just continue to provide whatever we can for you guys whenever we can.
Yes, sir. And with that said, you guys, that'll wrap it up from here. Like Kevin said, just thank you guys for tuning in to watch the video, and we will see you guys later.